News for people who can't stand the news.
I'm feeling good, people. I'm feeling ready and charged up, and I want to give you some information today that I think is so valuable. It needs to be shared far and wide, and I'm going to let you be the judge of it. Check it out. It's an article I ran into yesterday. It's entitled, How Clinton Media Machine Blocks Sanders' Civil Rights Play. Inside the Takedown of Bernie Sanders' Civil Rights Record. It's by Russ Baker, and it's on the website whowhatwhy.org. Let me set the table for you just a little bit, all right? In order for Clinton to get the nomination, she needed to have a dedicated coalition. The African American vote is the most dedicated of all coalitions, the most steady, the most reliable, black folks. Clinton wanted to attract them. She knew that would be her pathway. The only problem was Clinton was running against this man by the name of Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders has a track record that goes back 40 years of civil rights work, of being an advocate for civil rights, human rights, black folks, disenfranchised folks, poverty, youth, the whole shebang. If you're Hillary, this is not good. The last thing you can have is black folks not vote for you. So she set out, her and her Clinton machine and her Clinton minions, to discredit Bernie Sanders. This article lays it out perfectly for you. I'm going to give you a timeline of events when the hellhounds were released on Bernie Sanders to great effect. Check it out. June 2015, the Sanders campaign puts out a video with an image of a young Sanders leading a sit-in at the University of Chicago to protest segregated housing for students. The campaign ad was premiered in June and July to Iowans, but published online July 25th. All right. Fast forward to November 12th, 2015. Time publishes exclusive college alumni raises doubts about Bernie Sanders' campaign photo. So Time magazine responded to the photo that was used by the Sanders campaign, and they raised doubt that this was Bernie Sanders in the photo. Get it? It was a direct hit piece, basically, at Bernie Sanders' campaign. February 11th, 2016, the Washington Post columnist Jonathan Capehart, he writes a piece entitled, Stop Sending Around the Photo of Bernie Sanders, and he puts quotation marks around Bernie Sanders' name to suggest that Bernie Sanders is not the person in the picture. Also, at the same day, orchestrated, guys, Representative John Lewis, the icon, legend of civil rights leader, and very close and chummy with the Clintons, that's when he questions whether Sanders was involved with the civil rights movement at all. Remember, February 11th, both dates, both things happened. Clinton supporter Lewis is asked about Sanders' involvement in civil rights. He replies, well, to be very frank, I never saw him. I never met him, but I met Hillary Clinton. I met President Clinton. Remember that? This was the same day John Capehart came out with his article in the Washington Post that questioned Bernie Sanders' authenticity of being involved in the civil rights. Same time. Is this a coincidence? Yeah, okay. February 13th, 2 days later, Time is forced to reverse itself. It reversed. Look, magazines hate reversing themselves. They published an article entitled, Photographer Says 1962 Photo Really Does Show Bernie Sanders. Yeah. But see, here's the thing, guys. Once you put out an article, like Time put out, about Bernie Sanders, once you put out an article, once you say, there's a fire in the theater, right? People run out of theater. Somebody got a gun. People start running. If you then yell, my bad, it's not a gun, most of those people are already gone. They're out of there. I'm good, I'm gone. I'm not. They can't hear you. They went and got in their car, they went home. All right? That's what happened. When Time put that article out, they knew what they were doing. Okay? It's not over. Same day, February 13th, the CBC, or the Congressional Black Caucus, publishes a reversal from Lewis. And Lewis retracts his statement. He says, the fact I did not meet him in the movement, him being Bernie Sanders, does not mean I doubted that Senator Sanders participated in the civil rights movement. Neither was I attempting to disparage his activism. People, we know what he was doing. This is all orchestrated. This is a strategic plot set up in support of Hillary Clinton by Hillary Clinton supporters to throw dirt on Bernie Sanders. To give you and all the voters a false narrative. To give doubt in your head that Bernie Sanders was involved in civil rights when he was. Because, as I stated in the beginning, African Americans would so relate to Bernie Sanders and appreciate his support of civil rights. Hillary does not have a background in supporting civil rights. In fact, while Bernie Sanders was supporting civil rights, she was supporting segregationist Barry Goldwater. February 21st, Boston.com publishes newly found video shows Bernie Sanders getting arrested in 63. That's what's running now. Have you seen this clip? Right? Bernie Sanders, in fact, here goes a snapshot. Bernie Sanders getting arrested next to a black girl, chained to her, fighting against segregation in schools in Chicago. Folks, it's all laid out for us. It's a mass deception. They were doing it to control the narrative. To falsely paint Bernie Sanders as a liar. And then what? Then to claim he's attacking them. People ask me all the time, they say, Tim, why aren't black people responding to Bernie Sanders' message? That's because the ground was scorched by the Hillary campaign, by the Jonathan Capeharts, by Time Magazine, by these other people who put out this narrative that Bernie was lying, that he wasn't true, that he wasn't involved in civil rights. Because if more black people knew that at great risk to being hurt, to being beaten, to being jailed, and he was jailed, that Bernie Sanders was standing for black people 40 years ago before he was running. He hadn't run for anything. He just did it because that's what he believed. And at that same time, Hillary Clinton was not only not supporting MLK, she was campaigning against integration, against black civil rights or the civil rights movement. Do you understand that? But see, what's really hurting us right now is that we're having a problem getting the word out, letting as much people as possible know about it. It's also a problem that liberal media, controlled mainstream media, right, run by these supposed progressives, they are very reluctant to let black folks be a part of the discussion. I'm having problems myself getting involved. I think what I have to say is important. And if we want to reach black voters, we need to be more diverse. I've had the door slammed on me a number of times trying to get this word out. So I'm relying on you to share this video, to share this information as much as possible. There should be a symphony of liberals, progressives, of people who just want to get out the correct information about this campaign, about the track record, about what we stand for. That's not being done right now. So when people like Russell Simmons come out and they're able to say, well, Bernie Sanders is insensitive to black issues, he has no relevant points to make that claim. None. In fact, it's Hillary Clinton who has been not only insensitive, but strategically trying to undermine a person who actually does have civil rights credentials. She took prison lobbyists, private prison lobbyists' money. That's the people that lock up black folks. She's against legalizing marijuana and moving it from a federal charge from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 4, since you won't do fair time for weed. That would help a lot of black folks because we get stopped and pulled over and searched for what? For drugs all the time. Most black folks in jail are in jail for what? Marijuana, weed. Bernie Sanders wants to change that. Do you honestly believe most black people know that? No. And then they're told on top of all of this, I'm telling you, they are told repeatedly that he can't win. As if Hillary has this insurmountable amount of votes when she doesn't. And she only has what she has now because they've been lied to. And then you look at the Republicans and you say, oh, look at them falling for Trump. Look at them. Look at them. Look at you. Look at the Democrats. Look at that. Same deal. And then you see the way the Republicans are going after Donald Trump to stop him from changing the status quo, from shaking up the establishment. The DNC, or the Democratic National Committee, is doing the same thing to Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders wants to offer college. Bernie Sanders wants to offer health care. And he's the only candidate who says he wants to go after police brutality and mass incarceration. And Hillary is only saying it now because she has to say it because Bernie Sanders' message, through all her attempts, through all her surrogates, all her liars, deniers, people towing the line, looking for jobs from the Clintons, owing favors to the Clintons, not want to upset the Clintons. Still, his message was seeping through. Seeping through. So she was forced to adopt some of his ideas into her campaign. But I'm going to go for the person who's been talking about the same thing for 40 years without even running for president. There are no super predator comments in his past. There is no welfare reform bill. There is no welfare queen language in his past. He was fighting for young people, for single moms. He was saying, get away from Wall Street. Stop giving Wall Street money and then blaming a single mom for getting food stamps. Hillary Clinton was not talking that way. She's never talked that way. She's been the opposite of what we want or what we need. And she has the elite black folks, celebrities and business owners supporting her. And like Susan Sarandon said, my friend Susan Sarandon, like she said, there are people who support Bernie, but they're afraid to come out because if they're women, they're afraid they're afraid they'll be shamed because they're not supporting Hillary because she's a woman. And they're also afraid of backlash because the Clintons are powerful. But at some point, we have to come out. Time is getting down to it. We're running out of time. We don't have time for you to be afraid. We don't have time for you to look out for yourselves. We need you to look out for the country and your children and the world. I'm Tim Black. Feel the burn.